Jesus, I got some crazy statistics here
Well, don't say anything.
on the numbers that
Uh,
that Twitter Spaces did.
all right, we're live.
We're live. We're not on yet. I can't wait to be back in studio, bro. Can't wait, man. That's what we're talking about. I know you guys can't see me yet, but this is the Master None Podcast, episode 211, and we are here live. We're still remote. I'm still remote. Rather, I'm still out of town for another couple weeks, but I will be back soon, and episodes will be greater than ever before. We're going to be back in studio. We're going to be back live in person to be able to give you guys the content that you guys like, man. So please subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, hit the notification bell so that you never miss an episode, and make sure you hit that subscriber button. Make sure you hit it. We're still on this path, on this road to 1,000 subs. And we really need people to hit that subscription button because our analytics show that there's a large percentage of people that watch our content that are not subscribed to the page. So if you're ghost watching, it's all good. Just subscribe. Make a burner account and subscribe to the channel, and we'd appreciate that. So with that said, please jump into the chat. Please jump in and join us here live and participate in the show. Participate in the chat. That's our favorite part. And if you can't watch the live version, which of course we do implore you to do so, watch the live version. But if you're not able to watch the live version, watch the videos in the archive on our channel where you can check them out under the live tab. So when you get to our YouTube channel from the link in our bio on social media or however you get there, search us Masters of None Podcast. And make sure that you hit that live tab so you can see the full episodes. Otherwise, you can watch our shorts, watch our clips, if that's what you're into, a little shorter, condensed form content. But if you aren't able to watch the video version for whatever reason, you're working, you're driving, what have you, make sure you check us out on all audio podcast platforms. That's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play Store, Stitcher, Podbean, iHeartRadio. And of course, if you don't find us on your preferred podcast listening platform, Berto's going to let you know what you could do to get with it.
Join the Discord. And join the Discord and harass us until we place the podcast on your obscure podcast listening platform. And let me just confirm that we could. Okay, perfect. You guys can hear me. Excellent. With that being said, it's Masters of None, episode 211. 211. Let's
Episode
start.
211, and we are live. And we appreciate all 934 of our subscribers. We did have 935 earlier today, so somebody must have dropped off.
I didn't like that other guy. I'm going to keep it real.
What? The other sub that bailed?
Yeah, that guy who left, I wasn't upset about it. When he left, I was kind of like, well, good riddance.
Yeah, quitter.
My opinion, you know.
People don't forget.
That guy is never going to make it to the Olympics with that attitude.
Never, ever, ever.
Not going to be.
He might be able to.
I was going to say he might make it as an Australian breakdancer, but he ain't going to come through represent America.
I was going to say he might make it as a boxer in the women's division.
Also very funny. Did you see, let's talk about that. Did you see, we'll talk about the Australian breakdancer. Did you see her?
Of course I saw her. I wish I didn't, but I did.
It's so funny because like there's interviews with her afterwards and she was saying like how all the other breakdancers there were so much better than her that she had to bust out something original. And that, believe it or not, all those moves that she did were all original by her, made up by her moves. And she said,
I'm pretty confident.
Yeah, that this is often how she performs. And sometimes it's received well, and sometimes it isn't received well. You know, she didn't score a single point.
Yeah, I know.
How do you not?
I
That
think
means
they
that she
actually
would
should
have
have
did.
picked her off from the rooftop.
You know that she could have done nothing. She could have not showed up and got the same score.
Bro, you and I got the same score she got.
They should have gave
We
her
got
at
the
least
same
a
score.
point.
We tied.
I don't know how she didn't get any points. I think that's crazy. No points.
Bro, she deserved no points. At no point in that routine was she breakdancing. There was nothing in there that was breakdancing. She did a little laying on the beach. She did a little seizure activity, little convulsions. You know, she did a couple of moves that I seen some cats do. You know, a couple 4-year-old, you know, a couple 3-year-old toddler moves, couple 4-year-old moves. Like, look at me, watch what I can do. That's really what I saw. I
I
saw
don't.
nothing that resembled breakdancing.
I don't know, man. I felt like there was at least a couple breakdance moves in there. I think she might have, if she would have just busted out the worm, I feel like, you know, that could have pushed her over the top. It could have made everything made sense.
Yeah. You know, the funny thing is that immense gargantuan failure is going to make her more famous than any of the winners and legit B girls.
Oh, I'll tell you one thing. I know what she looks like. I have no idea what the person who won looks like. Not the slightest clue.
No, and I watched the winning routine. I watched it.
Dude, she did.
You know,
There's a video of her dancing like in a circle of like a bunch of Olympic athletes, and like they're all cheering her on.
yeah, the same way that you cheer on the idiot when you're growing up to jump his bike over some unsafe jump that you know he's going to fuck himself up on.
That's funny.
Same kind of deal. Like, go ahead, go do it, Mikey. Yo, just pedal, 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 bro. Yo, he's going to do it, yo. He's going to do it.
It's art, man. It's art. It's in the eyes of the beholder. Maybe we're just not ready for that routine. Maybe in a couple years we're gonna see. We're gonna look back at this routine and realize that it was revolutionary.
Yeah, I mean, I guess she's going to end up on Ellen or some shit. Watch. She's going to end up on some talk shows. She's going to be on The View doing that stupid shit.
Dude, she's
And they're
gonna
going to be
do.
like, you're so brave. You're so brave.
She's definitely
Shut
gonna
up.
get a world tour. She's
Yeah,
gonna be. She's gonna
100%.
choreograph. She's gonna do some kind of choreography for somebody famous.
She's going
Yeah,
on
she
tour Ice
won.
Spice.
She didn't. She won without winning.
Yeah. Yeah, but the crazy thing is she actually qualified for the Olympics by winning a competition back home in Australia.
Just goes to show you the level of breakdancing they got in Australia. I forgot who was talking about it. Somebody was saying, "Can you imagine this whole entire thing is like a bit, like she's faking it?"
Oh, I could 100% believe that she's trolling. I could absolutely.
And she's just trolled the whole Olympics, and we
Yeah.
don't know it.
She's going to come out as a YouTuber that she's going to be like, oh my God, here's my channel. And everyone's going to be like, what? She's been doing satire work for years. It's just nobody ever watched it.
Well, I guess in her defense, if she would have did a mediocre routine, it wouldn't have got half of the amount of views as her creative routine. So she won.
Yeah, I think you might be right, man. And I'll be honest, her blind confidence like that is it's kind of hot. I was like,
Yeah.
huh. I was like, you think you're that good, huh? Huh.
Yeah.
Maybe you're okay. Maybe you're all right, mama.
Yeah, maybe you're an all-star breakdancer.
Maybe you are a breakdancer. Maybe you want to break dance over here.
I left my drink over there by the by my main station. I'm gonna run over there and grab it. But before I do, you want to talk about this weekend, what we had going on? Let the people in a little bit of our personal information, a little bit of the personal things we did over the weekend.
Yeah, man. Listen, I'll be honest. I was a little pissed when they took my phone. I was gonna go live on the Masses and Nuts Instagram.
That's why they
Um,
took your phone.
That's exactly why they took it. All the reasons that I wanted to have it is exactly why they took it.
Dude,
Uh,
so
we
Justin,
went to on Saturday. We Should I tell the whole story about how we came to have these tickets?
Yes.
All right. So real quick, we have a very dear friend of the podcast, very dear friend. Personally, really good guy, my buddy Ryan. He actually called in after that Baltimore ship crashed into that bridge. He's the captain that we had. He's a captain unlimited. He's the one that we had call in to explain what potentially could have gone wrong to cause that ship to hit that bridge. He had gotten tickets a while back. He calls me and he's like, "Yo, I got some tickets to Kill Tony." He's like, "What's up?" So of course I said, "I'm down." So this is Kill Tony. If you're unfamiliar, it's a very popular comedy show on YouTube. It's in my opinion the greatest comedy show that exists right now. It's great. And they were coming to the Garden, which he hasn't really been touring, as far as I know, with the show specifically as much as he used to. It's kind of his home base is in Austin, Texas, at the mothership Joe Rogan's venue. So Ryan tells me, he's like, "Listen, I got these tickets." So I bought a ticket. It was me and him and his buddy, and then one of my friends. And he ended up having to work. So he calls me and says he can't go. So then Berto gets a ticket. Berto and I have a mutual friend, and then my friend that was originally going to come. So we went to Kill Tony on Saturday at Madison Square Garden, and it was awesome. I mean, I don't even think we recapped it after the show. So in my opinion, it was phenomenal. I don't know how you feel. What do you think?
It was like the best thing I've ever seen. I don't really go anywhere. I definitely don't go to see shows, but it was the best show I've ever seen. Like when it comes to like events that I've gone to, this was the best one.
Yeah, it was like a real life contemporary variety show, right?
You know what it is? Another thing is also that it was funny from beginning to end, very similar to the way you see it online. It was true to the actual show. It wasn't like you went over there and you seen all the wires, you see all like the smoke and mirrors. It's exactly the way you see it online. It's very funny from the beginning to the end. The premise of the show, like the way the show is like the premise of the show is super funny. It's kind of like built to be funny, whether the comedian does well or does poorly. I thought it was good.
You want to just explain real quick the premise of the Kill Tony show?
Yeah, sure. So essentially the way the show works is it's a panel of comedians, two staple comedians, a host and a co-host who's Tony Hinchcliffe and Brian Redband, and then there's the band behind them, and then there's always two special guests. The special guests that we got were, this isn't going to be difficult to explain, but there was two special guests that went, and what happens is that they bring on not just professional comedians, but they also bring on people who are just up and coming. And the way they pick who comes up is, if you want to come up and do a minute of comedy, you put your name into this fishbowl and they pull names. And sometimes they pull people who are, been comedians for a bunch of years and just waiting for their breaks. Sometimes they pick people who it's their first time doing comedy. And what happens, this is like a recipe for just, a hilarious moment, because even when you get people who are comedians or not comedians who go up there and do great, it's funny. When they come up there and they bomb, there's still a panel of professional, real deal comedians there who are gonna make jokes about how good or not good this comedian did. So I don't know. I think it's super funny. So you go up there, you do a minute of comedy, and then it's an interview afterwards. And it's, most of the time, if you do poorly, it's, the panel tearing you apart, and, making funnies for the audience. I hope I explained that well.
Yeah, and it's some of the best roasting comedians ever. They're going to cook you up there.
Yeah, I thought it was super cool. I thought, the people one of the things about going to see these shows where there's special guests or the ability to bring somebody out, it's like, that's one of the coolest parts for me. Like the people who, come as a surprise, the special guests, the surprise guests that come out halfway through the show, the comedians that you didn't know were going to come on. I think that for me, that was like the best part of the whole show.
Yeah, man. I mean, should we talk about some of the people that were there? Are we going to ruin it? I know it's going to
No.
air in a couple of weeks.
No, I don't think we're gonna ruin it at all because we're not gonna do their set. We're just gonna say that they were there.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm very intrigued by this, 2024 and the way that comedy has crossed over into pop culture at this point because of people like Andrew Schultz and Joe Rogan and just these comedians and Tony Hinchcliffe himself, like these comedians that have really been able to, they're likable and they're personable. Comedians aren't always the misfits that kind of they used to be. No offense, but they used to be people that suffered a ton of trauma, people that were just living in this kind of underground world. So it wasn't the same way. Now these people are real, true extroverts in their personal life and stuff, and they have friends and they have people in the industry that they're friends with. And it's the Andrew Schultz, I think, revolutionized comedy by starting to put chunks of his comedy on social media and on the internet. And I think those small 2-minute clips, 5-minute clips really brought people into comedy that weren't into it before because of the long form stuff like George Carlin, those kinds of comedians. So because of that, you end up with stuff like what happened this past weekend. When we saw Andrew Schultz months ago at the Garden, he brings out 50 Cent at the end of his show. That is as crossover as it gets for a comedian to bring, not only a comedian, a white comedian, to bring out 50 Cent to perform at the end of the show was crazy. And then Tony Hinchcliffe did not disappoint. The show was opened by the Kill Tony band. Then the Black Keys came on and played a few songs.
Yeah,
That was incredible.
and then they got
The Black
closed.
Keys.
He closes it out by bringing Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers, I was going to save that. Damn, I was going to save that till we went through all the comedians. But
Sorry.
yeah, so Aaron Rodgers came out at the end and throws out footballs in the crowd. He threw out like 30 footballs into the crowd. It's crazy. And then what I thought was different, have you ever seen him do that? The regular pull bucket where he pulls names of people that are there in the crowd that signed up versus the other bucket, the legend bucket. Have you ever seen the legend bucket before on the show? I don't know if I've seen that.
The legend bucket? No. The golden ticket winners I've seen, but not the legend bucket, no.
Yeah, he was pulling a lot of the golden ticket winners were coming out of the legend bucket. So, he had Jim Norton came out and did a set. Who else? The guy, I forget his name, damn it. It's Volcano. Right? Something Volcano is his name. He's the guy from Impractical Jokers. He came out and killed. Who else? Of course, he had the regulars. He had William Montgomery. He had Casey Rocket. He had Cam Patterson. He had
David Lucas.
Ari Maddie was great. Who else?
David Lucas.
The other two dudes, the guy that talks with the phone, the guy that's a mute.
And he also brought out who's the gentleman? What's his name? Old school guy with the leather jacket. He came out and did his
Yeah, Andrew Dice Clay, the Dice
yep,
Man.
Yep, Andrew Dice Clay.
Andrew Dice Clay. He brought out Jeff Ross. The roast master, which I had no idea that Jeff Ross was even sick, man. He went up there and said that he had colon cancer and shit. I was like, holy shit, I didn't even know that. I'm like, man, cancer is everywhere. What are we doing to ourselves? But the show overall was absolutely phenomenal. Joe Rogan came out,
Joey Diaz.
brought out Joey Diaz. Did you tell him about the presidential visitors we had?
No, I just said two special guests because I think it's like difficult to explain, but you could probably articulate it better than I can.
Well, anybody that watches Kill Tony, because that's really who this is for. This segment, I guess, is Kill Tony and comedy fans in general. But if you're familiar with I think his name's Adam Ray. Adam Ray, I think he does that. He's the one that does that Dr. Phil impersonation on Kill Tony and all over the internet. But he also does a great Joe Biden. So he was on there. They had a viral episode of Kill Tony a few weeks back where he did his Joe Biden impersonation, and Shane Gillis was on doing his Trump impersonation. And if you know Shane Gillis and you're familiar with his impersonation, he's got, in my opinion, the greatest Donald Trump impersonation ever. So the two of them were up there with Dave Attell, Long Island's own Dave Attell, stand up. And the three of them were the judges. And then Rogan stayed on stage after he came out. Joey Diaz stayed on stage after he came out. Yeah, it was just a great night of comedy and surprises and just the epitome of what I consider a variety show to be. It was great. I was waiting for someone to come out on a unicycle juggling flaming swords or something like that, you know?
No, it's exactly what you hope it is. It was.
Mm-hmm.
It was exactly what we wanted it to be. It was a great show. I would definitely go see him again if they came back into town. It makes me want to, be on the lookout for more stuff like that.
Yeah, we got to do some more stuff. We got to do some more masses and none IRL.
That's one
a monster truck rally.
The monster truck rally. I've been to one. They're actually very, very. It's a good time. But one of the things I was gonna say is that going to the Kill Tony show made me more I don't really go to any of the things I watch online. Like if they end up doing something locally, I don't really end up doing anything if there's a comedian I like and they do something local. I don't really go to see it. If there's fights that come on and they're local, they're in New York, I don't really go to them. But it makes me feel like, man, maybe I should go to these things when they come into town. Obviously, we talked about the fights before. You and I do try to get tickets to every event that comes to New York. We just end up getting priced out. But I'm sure there's a lot of other stuff that I'm fans of that I'm a fan of that comes to New York and tours through New York that I don't really take advantage of.
Yeah, for sure. It was just a great time. It was great to go on the Saturday. I felt like we missed stuff because he was in the Garden Friday and Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
But to be there the second day, because you always feel like you missed something, right? Even when we went to see Andrew Schultz, he was at the Garden 2 nights, right? And you just feel like you're gonna miss something, But they seem to, when it's a good entertainer and it's somebody that's really, really doing their thing, they deliver for fans on both nights and different stuff. It's not the same kind of crap.
Yeah, No Jumper did a show in Connecticut, or it was in Boston. I think they did one in New York and one in Boston. And I was like, maybe I should go. And the tickets were cheap too. And I didn't go. I don't think it would have been as good as this show, but that's another thing that I'm like, maybe I should have done this.
Yeah, I mean, we're going, and we were also in good company, man. We had, chill people. There was nobody, that was going to do anything stupid. It was fun, man. It was me and my childhood best friend, and Berto and his childhood best friend. So we just merged, teams and became the wolf pack. We cut our palms on the roof of the Garden.
Yeah, cross swords. It was a great time. We before the show we went to a bar to watch USA versus France basketball final. Great game. United States coming out on top. Not just coming out on top getting gold in basketball, but coming out on top and getting the most golds overall in the Olympics.
Hell yeah. Let's go. You mean U.S. in general, this Olympics?
Yeah, dude, the U.S. got 20 gold medals.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah, 20 gold medals. America. China also got 20, but we're better. So our 20 were better gold medals, and we got more podiums overall than any other country.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Listen, America, stand up, man.
Dude, the United States got 126 podium spots.
Wow. Out of how many? What's the total?
I don't know. I know that I'll give you the statistics for China and America because they're number 1 and number 2. And it's surprisingly Japan number 3, which I give Japan a lot of credit because I feel like, they're just a bunch of islands. They're making waves for a place not that big. But United States got 20 gold, 44 silver, 42 bronze for a total of 126 top 3 positions in the 2024 Olympics. China came in close second with a 20, 27, 24 for a total of did we get 40 gold medals? Not 20? I gotta look this up.
Hmm. That's it, man.
Berto
You
done
can always
piss
rely
people
on that
off
book.
by a bunch of islands. I'm not saying that Japan is just a bunch of islands. I'm just saying how impressed I am with the impression that Japan has made on the world by and it not being as large as these other countries. Like Japan isn't as large as you look at like China, right? But Japan produces so many like great automobiles. They came in third place overall in the amount of medals that they won. They're winning in when it comes to like animation and stuff like that. It's crazy how like big Japan is for not being that big of a place. That's what I mean.
Yeah, I think it's their lineage and their heritage and their understanding of hard work and dedication. And, they're better at being cholos than cholos.
Yeah,
You ever see the Japanese cholos?
correction. United States won 40 gold medals, not 20. Yeah, I seen like the little the not the little cholos, but the I seen the Japanese cholos. Very impressive.
Bro, they're better at breakdancing than anybody that ever lived in the Bronx.
I was just gonna say breakdancing started here, and they're better at it. So to our Japanese
Bro, they're
audience,
just cool.
that might have been offended by my bunch of islands comment. Not what I meant.
No, they're solid, man. They're absolutely solid. It's you want to talk about a small island that's had a lot of influence and a lot of big important people. Do I need to say it?
Asakura, I
Puerto
think
Rico,
she's
baby.
Korean. Oh, I thought you were talking about great people that came out of Japan.
No, I'm saying another small island, just an island, not an archipelago, just an island.
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico's
So
another
let's go.
another island, great island, lovely island.
Yo, the way you just said that reminded me. You brought me right to the Twitter Spaces conversation with Elon Musk and Donald Trump.
What did you think about that? I didn't get to watch it. I watched like other media where they gave me their in person. I've seen like takes of it. I watched Philly D talk about it today, but I haven't got to listen to it myself. What'd you think? Did you listen to it?
Yeah, I listened to it. I would have to say the most interesting thing, or the thing that kind of overshadowed the conversation, had to be the issue with when they first went live. They first went live. I jumped on, tried to get on the link, and it was just telling me that this X. I hate that X. It's so hard to say. Such a mouthful. This X spaces. That shit is stupid. That's just bad branding. I hate that. I'm gonna keep calling it Twitter. Sorry, Twitter just flows. Twitter Spaces, Twitter comment, Twitter post, Twitter feed, tweet. That shit just goes.
Yeah, no,
This
it's great.
X shit is stupid as hell. X.
It's dumb.
That's the hardest thing to say, bro. That shit sucks. Your rockets are great. Your Teslas are solid, but X, stupid. All right, back to it. So when they first went live, I clicked the link, and it just kept on saying this X space is unavailable. It's unavailable. It's unavailable. I tried a bunch of times, unavailable. But it would show me for a second how many people were in there. And there were like 2 million people, 1,000,005, and then it would crash. And I was like, what's going on here? So immediately my first impression was maybe their servers can't handle it. But I'm like, he's Elon Musk. Do we think his servers can't handle something?
Who's got a bigger set of fucking servers?
Yeah, who's got a bigger set of servers? He's got watermelon-sized servers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, his servers are tall and they're cool.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, maybe that's not it. I was like, this got to be a bunch of trolls that are just trying to crash the stream, doing something stupid, sending spam or spyware, or sending some dumb shit, just trying to crash the stream. And then he tweets minutes after I was thinking something's got to be going on. He tweets that they're under attack from a DDoS, cyber attack or what have you. Do you know what that is? Why don't you explain what a DDoS? That's out of my scope. I mean, I read about it, but
a very, 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 very high level and possibly incorrect is essentially they're just making like a bunch of requests for access to the site. So imagine like 2 million different computers go to log into to go to a website. 5 million computers. And one computer could be a bunch of computers. One computer could be hundreds of virtual machines. And then they all make like a request for access, or they all like try to get onto something at the same time. And they just keep doing it over and 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 over. Like, you ever seen like somebody like do one of those like bash files that just open up command prompt over and over and over? It's just like no stopping it. It's just like continuous. It just keeps going and going and going and going and going until the servers get overwhelmed and just take a dump.
Hmm. All right, yeah. So what do you think? Do you think that that's likely, or do you think that it's more likely that his servers? Let's engage Chris on this. He's in the chat. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think that this is possibly a, I don't know, a real attack like that, a cyber attack, or do you think that his servers just couldn't handle the volume?
No, I think that this stuff happens all the time. I think that especially with him,
that doesn't tell us anything. Which one do you think it is?
I think that it's very likely that he says that there was a DDoS attack, and I believe that. And I also believe, and there's also was some discussions about foreign countries already beginning to meddle with the elections in the states. And damn, I wish I knew what this is. I wasn't prepared to talk about this specifically, so I don't remember exactly what country it was. But it's very likely that there's somebody in Russia somewhere in another country just saying like, oh, you know what? Let's go mess with the United States election, or it's internal. It's like, oh, yeah, I definitely believe that.
Do you think it was more likely that it's Russia or something like that, or just some angry libtards?
Dude, with the state of affairs in the States, it's hard to tell whether that's something that would have came from within or from external. I think it's capable of, I don't know. I think that there's
think it was?
I think there's just as much people who hate him here as the people in other countries who might hate him or love him. I think that the video I was referring to with the foreign countries getting involved in this current election, we're saying that the foreign countries are looking to have Trump in office. Countries like Russia would benefit from having somebody like Trump in office. That's what they were alluding to in the video I watched. I don't know, what information that's backed by, but yeah.
All right, let's catch up on the chat because Chris seems to have a lot to say here. You want me to catch up on it? Because I can reiterate.
Sure.
Right here. So he said Alberto done pissed off a whole continent, just a bunch of islands. That bunch of islands gave us Dragon Ball and Gundam. Pay your goddamn respects. True. So he says, Chris says, I don't think anyone can handle that spike in traffic with people actively DDoSing in tandem. And then he broke down it's a distributed denial of service. And he says he also thinks he doesn't think that servers could have handled millions of legitimate users plus bots actively trying to attack it in tandem. So he says I would need to know more specifics about the architecture of X Spaces, but my understanding is they're basically just massive Discord calls. There's no way they should have been able to handle that. Yeah, I agree. I mean, there were millions of people in there constantly. They broke the record for Twitter Spaces listeners or X Spaces listeners. I hate that. So you got to go X Spaces. You can't go X Spaces. X Spaces. This shit is stupid. I hate that, Elon. Can we change that? Shit sucks.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. I don't believe like any of the views that any of these people are getting are legitimate anymore.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that to a point, but I think if anybody is likely to have a more accurate number, it's Elon Musk. I mean, he has no reason to kind of, unless of course he's trying to get Donald Trump elected, which he is. He's contributing a significant amount of money to his campaign, but
how does he do it? How does he differentiate the fake user from the real one?
Oh, I thought you meant him as the publisher of this Spaces call was kind of actively pursuing fake views.
No, I think that it's the camps. I think it's Trump's camp. Just like, we see it in music, right? People buying streams, just like people used to buy records. Both these candidates have already been exposed for like paying these celebrities to do appearances and go on stage with them. People who have who've never had a political view, they bring on, Meg The Stallion or something like that on stage to get that her fan base's vote. But I think it's them buying the views. If there's views being bought, I don't know. I think that the views, whether it be them or it could be their constituents, these people, the people who want either side to win are like fanatics. There's people who love Trump and there's people who love Kamala. Why not? Oh, that's my girl. She's going on today. I'm gonna buy her. I'm gonna help her out. Buy her 30,000 views.
Yeah, you don't think it's possible that that number was somewhat close to accurate with the recent events, with people trying to assassinate him, and the amount of support that Elon has combined with the amount of support that Trump has. I mean, I think it's pretty safe to say that they could amass a few million views together.
Maybe over
I think
time,
it's pretty.
but I don't think it's a platform that's known for doing videos. Like that's something that they just started doing it now. Nobody uses that platform.
But it wasn't a video.
It was like a live conference.
It's just a conversation. It's just audio back and forth. It's like a phone call on speaker.
That's even more of something that people don't go. I'm not saying it's not real. I don't even know what those numbers look like comparatively to the other numbers. But I'll tell you one thing, if it's not what people use X for. So if their videos like average a couple 100,000 views and then they get 1 million live viewers, and then we're also talking about them getting botted, it's like it has to be a little skewed, because like some of these bots
Well,
are
sure,
getting
I
through,
think
right?
all of it is a little skewed, but do you how skewed do you think it is? Like, what's the percentage? Do you think that it's, do you think it's 75% fake listeners, or do you think it's 25%?
I don't know. I look at it the same way. You look at these kick streamers, right? And they have all these viewers. And it's like, who are all these people watching? It's not, there really isn't all these people watching. And like people are catching on now that this shit ain't real. Like a lot of these views are not legit. So if I was to, I don't know, a percentage, I don't know. I would have to know the deviation between what their average, what they normally would get on a post versus what they got on this one, and then you would make like an intelligent analysis. You'd be like, all right, this is a big thing. Maybe it's normal to go up another 50, 60, 70%. But if this one got to you said it was 1 million and change live viewers.
I'll tell you right now. I actually pulled up some stats.
1 million and change, dude.
It said, all right, so as of noon today, which today, the 13th, as of noon today, so 7.5 hours ago, the X had this X space had 25 million users had listened to the entire interview from start to finish. So that's 25 million from beginning to end. Then the total number of impressions reached was 2.9 billion and still growing. From start to finish, there were roughly 1.5 million concurrent listeners during the live stream. President Trump's space his post of the space generated 187 million views, and over 9.6 million posts related to the interview were generated. So after the interview went up, or the conversation, as Elon called it, after that went up, 9.6 million posts were related to that stream.
That's not even that many posts compared to 1.5 million concurrent. No, I don't think that's real. 1.5 million concurrent
I think
watchers.
that's simple to reach. I think that's a completely believable number. Completely believable. 1.5 million concurrent listeners between Elon Musk and Donald Trump. Donald Trump has 89 million followers on X, and Elon has 194 million. To get 1.5 million concurrent listeners is, I think, absolutely feasible for these two.
Yeah, but we all know that the amount of followers you have and the amount of engagement you get is like there's a huge discrepancy.
That is a huge discrepancy. So you're talking about the two of them combined are almost 300 million followers.
Well,
You
no,
think one?
because they definitely share an audience, so it's not like it's not you can't just put people on top of people because some of those people are the same
Okay,
people.
that's true. So give me a number of what you think we could take away. Let's take away all of Donald Trump's followers. All 84 million gone.
I just think that
190. Mm-hmm.
what I was gonna say is I just think that 1.5 million like concurrent viewers is like a lot. Like I don't think they.
Of course, it's a lot, but you don't think that's? I mean, you got the richest man in the world, man that shoots rockets into space. He's got Starlink satellites. He's got Tesla vehicles. He's probably hailed as one of the top 5 most intelligent people in the world that has money to actually make an impact. Plus, you have Donald Trump, who is one of the most polarizing presidents ever. You got to think it's not just supporters that are tuning in. It's all of these opposing forces tuning in just so that they could take bits and sound bites and kind of try to bury him or find holes in what he's saying or catch him lying, which is what all politicians do. And he, at this point, is a politician. So you don't think it's possible at all that 1.5 million concurrent listeners was happening? Did I lose you?
No, I kind of just, I don't know. I'm looking at, I went to go look at Google how many concurrent viewers like the Super Bowl had, so I could have made a comparison. But, I can't find an accurate number. It just says how many views it did. Super Bowl did 123 million views in the States. But it doesn't talk about how many concurrent viewers it had. I think that, so kind of just to answer your question, I still don't. I think it's just a lot. I think that that there's other things that those things that you mentioned, like Elon being super smart, and I don't think that any of those things really translate to like a massive viewership. I don't think it translates to a massive viewership. And so I think that what translates to like a big viewership is like the stuff that Trump has, like the fact that he's because I don't wake up at extra early in the morning to see what Elon did. And I think he has, while he does have a big audience, I don't think that like a lot of people, are tuning into Elon. I think that a lot of people tune into Trump. I think that he has like, that character that brings eyes to the screen. So I think that if anybody's capable of doing it, it's him. I'm just kind of like, I'm a little, what's the word? Not
You're
jaded.
skeptical.
Yeah, I'm a little skeptical because of like, in recent events, like everybody's being accused of faking streams. So it's not, and sometimes it's not even the person itself. It's like some crazy people from their fans. I mean, they were just talking on a much smaller scale. Adam 22 was just talking about it on his podcast when there were some people who left his channel and created a new channel, and their fan base was buying them live viewers, and they thought that they had hit like this, crazy milestone of like 50,000 concurrent live viewers, which is a huge number. And it turns out that it was people buying them views, which sucked. But it was
okay. Fair enough. So let's talk about a number. So let's say they did buy views. Do you think they bought 1 million? You think they bought 1 million concurrent listeners?
If it did 1.5, if it did 1.5 million, if it did 1.5 million concurrent, how many overall views did you say it had?
This is outdated. It's as of 12 noon today. 25 million X users listened to the entire interview from start to finish.
Yeah, but that means that probably even way more than that. Not impressions. Did it say views?
President Trump's Space's post generated 187 million views. I think that's completely doable for a world leader. I mean, you got fucking little Yachty will do 100 million views.
Yeah, well, a lot more people like Lil Yachty than the people that go out to vote. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not specifically Lil Yachty, but you can understand what I'm saying. Like more people are inclined to go see fucking Taylor Swift than they are to go out and vote or engage really in politics. It's becoming bigger now because it's like there's this drama fest. But the reality of it is it's been kind of boring up until a couple elections ago.
All right, so let's talk. I know, let's take a conservative news network like Fox or like Newsmax. Fox does like 5 million views on their shows at night.
Exactly. This guy did 1.5 concurrent million. Dude, hundreds of thousands of people are coming on and off. To hold.
Dude, they do 5 million. Like Gutfeld and Jesse Waters and shit. These guys on Fox, they're doing 5 million concurrent viewers on television. Like you have to sit down at the time that they have it on and turn it on. They're doing 5 million. 6 million. They have like that time slot on lock.
Yeah.
So I think it's definitely feasible that 20% of those viewers tuned into Donald Trump's Twitter space,
Hey, listen, I'm not saying it's impossible. I just don't believe it.
Well, yeah, I think healthy skepticism is definitely something that makes sense in this, especially in this arena, in this time, in this climate.
Dude, it's a lot of concurrent viewers.
Dude, he got shot in the face just weeks ago. There's a lot of elements that lead up to this. You had an assassination attempt. You have Elon Musk, who has his following for all his reasons, and Trump. Plus, it was on a fairly simple platform to access. So I think it's possible. Would I say it's absolutely accurate? No way. I'm just saying that I think those numbers are possible. I think they're possible. I mean, Rogan gets, millions of views on every video he posts within a day, within hours. Like people are getting these views. Like if I look at Rogan's most recent podcast, 6 hours ago it was posted and has 1.2 million views.
Who was the guest?
Like this amount.
Who was the guest?
Adam Sandler.
Okay. Yeah. Probably going to be his biggest guest in this quarter. Adam Sandler? Of course, dude. Adam Sandler goes on Joe Rogan. Yeah, it's got a couple million views. And he's Joe Rogan. And he's on this platform. That's what I'm saying. It's like there's a bunch of things that combined together make me not believe that it did so well. And it's not to say that it isn't going to, that I don't believe that it ended up generating a bunch of views. I'm just impressed by the fact that they got that many concurrent viewers on a platform that isn't known for doing this. This isn't their thing to do, right? On something that, in my opinion, wasn't really super marketed. It wasn't like we were doing, I didn't see any countdowns to the Elon Musk Trump conversation. It seems like something that kind of came out of nowhere.
You're also not on, you don't follow this stuff and you're not on X.
I'm not on Twitter. No, I'm not on Twitter. And I don't really follow the politics too much. It's like the stuff that comes to me, I watch, but I don't really go looking for it. So to hear it got like...
Yeah, so it's similar to anything. Like, just like I don't know when a new video game drops until you guys tell me. It's a similar thing. I mean, you can't benchmark it based on someone that doesn't follow this stuff.
No, but
that doesn't make sense.
No, but I do hear about, like, I knew about the debate before the debate came on. Like I would think like it's something like...
Well, the debate is run by the country. It's run by a major TV network and the U.S. government. So
no, Twitter's a pretty big company. If they're having Donald Trump on, I would think it would be something that I didn't see it at all before it came on. You knew like, how long has this been into working? You knew he was going to be on there for a while?
No, I knew the day of. I saw.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But Elon Musk posted it, and I saw it. So I'm sure that there's a lot of other people that also saw it. Again, I also have some healthy skepticism about this because, as much as I know Joe Biden has ruined the country, I also know that Donald Trump is now a politician. So, I take everything that these guys say with a grain of salt. Given one of those grains of salt ruin the economy, ruin the housing market, and open the borders up for everybody to just come in here and do whatever they want, and has dope fiends in the street getting clean needles. But I do understand that they're all politicians and they're all just trying to lie to you to get your vote. Very
Yeah.
simple. It's like class president. I'm going to put Surge in the vending machines if you elect me class president. It's lies.
And it's and like I said earlier, it's not I don't say that I believe that the some of the views might not be real to discredit Trump or anybody in this case. It's just like that's like the name of the game on the internet right now. People are buying like live content is getting bigger. You're welcome, world. We've been doing live content before it was big, but live content is so big right now, and like live viewers is a huge thing, and like it's happening a lot in like that Twitch, Kick, and whatever the last platform is, space. So it wouldn't surprise me if some of this was infected by that same bug. But go ahead. I know you want to catch up on the chat.
Yo, Berto always goes into kind of this really cool voice when he's saying like really smart shit, and you need to like listen and you need to understand what he's saying. He's
understand
like,
what I'm saying. It's when I get real smart, my mouth gets dry.
Yeah, when you get real smart, you get all sensual and shit. You get all phone sex operator. You're like, listen, this is just a fact. I don't know. You guys make up your own mind. I just don't believe it.
I'm not saying, but what does it matter? It doesn't even matter.
Yeah, let's check out this chat. So, Chris dropping these huge words. Viewership in digital spaces are so nebulous. You basically can't say. I feel like I heard a hot streamer chick say that when I was, trying to find the mute button to shut her off, and but I really wanted to listen to kind of what she had to say. You basically can't tell what's a real user and what's bot farmed. Yo, exactly, Chris. It's all fake, dude. It's all fake. Berto's right, man. I have the same amount of skepticism. I truly do, but I also do think that I might have a little less skepticism with this pair doing a space and actually having viewers. I think Trump's stream with 1 million views is more believable than Dr. Disrespect's numbers. Is that true? What are you laughing at?
I'm laughing because it's funny because I don't know when you can see me because we're kind of delayed. That's why, unfortunately, I'm sorry, guys. I keep stepping on when Justin's talking. I apologize. It's because we got like a little bit of a delay. It's hard for me to get in the sync. Justin's been doing great, but I've been talking like shit. I was laughing because of what Chris said after that.
I, for one, kiss my Elon Musk cardboard cutout right after I get out of bed in the morning. Huh. See, that's how I know you're not a real Elon supporter. He comes into bed with me. My Elon Musk cardboard cutout spoons me. It's the big spoon when I'm in bed.
Justin has 2 of them. One he soaks down, so it makes it more malleable. It fits right in the bed with him. It molds.
That's right. I mold it to my backside like a fucking vert ramp. Like a vert ramp. You know how you wet down that plywood, make that half pipe? That's what I do with my Elon Musk. I just strap it on. Go ahead, man. You got something to say. Go for it.
That thing holds you like a child seat.
Yeah, exactly, dude. That's what I do. I actually put it in a car seat, and then I sit on the soaked Elon Musk cardboard. And then after I sit there for a while, I get up, and he just holds position, man.
Makes sense.
We got also Big Gulp jumping in saying that's right. Oh, so you also kiss your Elon Musk cardboard cutout? That's awesome, man. And then Chris says, nah, it was this week. What was this week? I don't know what
they're talking about, because one of the things I mentioned and why I find it like difficult to believe that it was successful from a viewership perspective, while it was live. I think that Trump could definitely generate a lot of views on the back end after he posts stuff, but like live viewers is because of the lack of, from my perspective, like marketing. Like I didn't know that this was going to be a thing, right? So when I said that, I think that they're referring to like when they heard about it. Like Spaz, Chris says this week, and Spaz says he heard about it 2 hours after it was supposed to start, and then Chris says, what I believe they're supposed to say, they announced it, and pretty soon after, it was basically just a weekend. They didn't promote it. I think it would have been way bigger if they did. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But maybe I'm looking at it like 1.5 concurrent is a lot, and maybe it's not as much as I think it is.
I think you're comparing them to streamer numbers, and you're forgetting that these people are not streamers. These people are real life people. You know, they're real life people that have been in the public eye for decades and decades. It's different. It's not, I know for, I don't know, for, back on Fig or for Adam 22 to get 1.5 million followers is ridiculous and astronomical. But when you have a former president of the United States that was a TV star, that's been in a bunch of movies, that's a super famous businessman with his name plastered all over buildings and everything else, and he's loved and hated by probably an equal amount of people. Plus, he just got assassinated months out from the next presidential election, mixed in with possibly the most popular tech startup guy of all time, that is the only guy crushing it in the electric car market, the satellite network he's built. Again, it's just the rockets he's built, the talks of him making that crazy tunnel in LA, that subway system that he was talking about making that never happened. But I mean, when you combine these two forces, I think a 1.5 is a low number to me. I think that's barely anything when you combine who these men are into a conversation and the timing at which this conversation took place.
No, I think that none of like Elon's accolades like make him somebody that people want to go listen to a live stream with. It's not, and I think that even comparatively, that comparing them to people on the internet, these guys on the internet get more hits than the people on TV. I just looked up like a quick statistics. In 2023, Twitch had an average of 2.4 million concurrent viewers on the entire platform.
Dude, you can't compare Twitch to Donald Trump.
The people. Well, why not?
You can't.
The entire website?
Dude, those millions of views, I would say 90% of those went to 10 creators.
But that's not what I'm trying to illustrate. I'm just trying to illustrate that it's a lot of people.
Yeah, well, if you say there's a lot of people on my street versus there's a lot of people in India, that's all subjective. I mean, there's those aren't really comparable.
Well, no. I'm comparing apples to apples. I'm talking about how many people are watching something live.
Yeah, but a specific platform you're referring to.
Exactly, and the platform you're talking about isn't known for. It isn't. That's not what they do.
What do you mean it's not what they do? It's a lot of how they shifted their business model. X has been very different in the last couple of years since Elon took it over.
In the last couple of months.
What?
In the last couple of months, they've been doing like this, like they want to introduce more, maybe even a year, I'll give you. They started to try to get people to live stream on there. But it's not what Twitter's known for.
A lot of people.
It's not what Twitter's known for. It's something that they're trying to do, but it's not what they're known for. So when they do it and they do it that successfully, I don't even give a fuck. I'm just saying, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore.
I just don't think 1.5 listeners is really that many.
It's to do it concurrently. It's to consistently have over 1.5 is a lot. I don't think 1.5 is a lot overall. If they got 20 million views, I'd be like, oh, okay, they got 20 million views. I just think that 1.5 consistently is a lot. Because 1.5 consistently translates to a huge number of views.
Yeah, which you don't think that Donald Trump and Elon Musk together are capable of 1.5 million concurrent viewers?
I think that Donald Trump by himself could probably get 1.5, yeah. I don't think Elon Musk is like a factor in like getting viewers.
Okay, that I think that's crazy, but I just
have you ever watched anything he did live? You ever watch Elon Musk do anything live?
Yeah, I've watched a lot of his premieres. When he did the Don Lemon interview, when he did the other interview where he told everybody that's trying to dead him on his, trying to control his free speech, they can go fuck themselves. Like, I do pay attention with Elon Musk. He's the richest man in America. He's the richest man like everyone should be paying attention to Elon Musk at least a little bit.
But that's not what I'm
Guy
saying.
He has satellites orbiting our planet, and he's shooting rockets to Mars. I think you should know a little bit about what Elon Musk is up to. That's kind of necessary in 2024.
I'm not. That's not what I'm asking you. I asked you if you watch a lot of his live content.
When he does it, he doesn't do it often.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like,
but as soon as he posted this, I jumped on the link. I jumped on the link immediately at 8 p.m. I jumped on it because I was just curious as to what was going on. You know, so I'm gonna catch up on the chat real quick. So Spaz says he was on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Yeah, that's right. Trump was. He was in Home Alone 2.
Trump is super famous. He's very capable of getting views.
So you think Elon Musk would take away from his views?
No, I don't think Elon Musk would take away from his views. I think that Trump could do it by himself. I think that Trump was looking for somebody to speak to. He wants somebody big to speak to get that, you know, in order, you know, to boost his popularity and get, you know, their votes. Just like he would love nothing more than a Joe Rogan interview.
So you think that Donald Trump could do 1.5 million by himself, but he can't do it with Elon?
No, I'm saying that I'm surprised that they did something that was like essentially, from my perspective, like impromptu. Like they just did it like overnight, didn't market it, and it did so well on a platform that doesn't do this. I think if they would have did it on YouTube, it would have been like, oh shit, they did it on YouTube. People go to YouTube. People watch live content on YouTube. If you go to YouTube and you see that they're number one trending, it isn't weird to have 1 million and something people in there. But for Twitter being a platform that people don't use, that don't go to that content for something that wasn't heavily marketed, to have that many live viewers, I was just surprised. And I also believe that we're living in an age right now where people fake a lot of these live viewers. That's pretty much my only point this entire time.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. But I will tell you, I don't know why you keep saying that X doesn't do this. Their X Spaces concept is very popular. I watch a lot of shit on Spaces. I listen to a lot of shit in the background. I probably listen to like 10 of those.
But that doesn't make it popular. You know, Facebook has a bunch of different features that they have that some people probably use that other platforms have, but, you know, that's not where we go to for that stuff. Like, you know, it's something that Twitter's trying to do now, and they've been trying to do it not that long, maybe like a year ago. You got to think of when, you know, they were trying to get people like Mr. Beast, for example, to release his videos on X because it was like that's what they wanted to get, the space they wanted to get into. And it makes perfect sense. They want like that short form content, or they want like video content on their platform. But that's not what people think of when they think of Twitter or X. People think of like tweets and, you know, messages and, you know, like a text format. They don't think about like, or you know, or people reposting videos. They don't think about like, let me go to Twitter to watch a live stream of this or that. And listen, like I said, like you said before, I'm not an X user. But I think that I fall into like the majority of people like that have like a general understanding of X. And I think that like most people don't use X for that. And, you know, it's not where they go to for that. So when I say like, yeah, I'm surprised that X did it because it's not even something that they do, it's kind of a fair assessment. It's like, it's not what they're known for. It's not like their bread and butter. You know what I'm saying? It's not to shit on X. I don't got anything against them.
I feel what you're saying, but I will tell you this. I think you are a little misinformed with what Twitter is up to. X has become kind of the space for a lot of conservative creators. Like Tucker Carlson, his show is exclusively on Twitter, exclusively on X, and he gets like 10 million views an episode, exclusively on X. Matt Walsh, his content exclusively on X. Like there's a lot of, because it's them and Rumble are pretty much the only free speech platforms that are around right now. And currently, in this current kind of climate, it's the conservatives that are being silenced more than anybody. So they tend to flee to these platforms and these markets. They're fleeing to X. They're fleeing to Rumble. And they're getting a lot of viewership, like very, very large viewers on their video content that they're posting on there.
Yeah, but even if they got billions...
Go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead. Even if they got what?
I said, even if they got billions of views, it doesn't change that that's not like what Twitter, is about. Like, it's not like there's a bunch of people going over there. You're talking about a very niche group of people who've essentially been, for whatever reason, exiled out of the other major platforms that really do that now have been forced to go to this platform.
Yeah, and Elon and Donald Trump both fit into that demographic that's been forced over to X.
Yeah, I know, but that still doesn't invalidate what I said earlier. It's not to say that it's not something that Twitter really does, and I was impressed or skeptical of the amount of views they got based on that fact.
All right, fair enough. I think we landed on a spot that makes sense, because I do agree that I don't really believe any kind of streaming numbers. I think they're all horseshit. But let's see some more of this chat. So Spaz says he's going to listen to the Lex Friedman Elon Musk interview, and that's about 8-hour interview. So there's roughly 350 million people in the whole country. 3% of the population tuned in. That's pretty significant. All right. And Big Gulp says it definitely is a lot. Yeah, for sure. So Spaz says Trump's Elon Musk interview gets more than 95 million views. And Big Gulp says tense tonight. I wouldn't say that.
No, not tense.
Spaz, also nice to see Berto ruining the potential Coca-Cola sponsorship. Yeah,
that's what I laughed about. That's what I laughed about. I was like, he's right. I should have held out for Coca-Cola. Honestly, and I could say it now, I don't drink any of them. Actually, what's Polar? Polar's probably made by Coca-Cola.
Yeah, probably. Polar Seltzer, yeah. They're made by one of them. They're at least distributed by one of them. That's for sure.
Imagine.
No. Imagine what?
I was gonna make a comparison between like Twitter hosting like this conversation and Polar doing something else, but it was just gonna be such a way further like a comparison. I was like, imagine Coca-Cola started making G-strings and then they sold 1 billion of them. People would think there's something afoot, but it's not even like, it's a stupid argument. It's like, it's not even close,
Yeah, that's stupid as hell, because I would definitely buy a flavored Coca-Cola flavored G-string.
Yeah,
100%.
It makes sense for them to sell like 1 billion G-strings. Speaking of selling billions of things, have you been following the like all this recent like increase in car thefts, like the Kia Boy thing that was going on in the Midwest that started probably about 2 years ago, where people found out this kind of manufacturing error in Kias where they could rip apart the steering column and start the car with like the male end of a USB stick?
I know that was a thing, because that's where the Kia Boys came from, but what's going on with it?
There's like a new thing now, and it's not necessarily new, but it's becoming like more and more prevalent, where people will buy like locksmith equipment online, and now because everything is like smart keys and digital, they get into cars, they buy this like smart key stuff, they buy the smart keys online, program the key, and just get in and start the car, and essentially have a key to the car. And they're stealing cars like that now. And I watched this really
and
cool.
That's Kias?
No, it's not. It's not Kias. It's essentially every brand, except they say Fords are very difficult to steal. But apparently the Chevys and GMs are the easiest ones. But I watched this documentary that this YouTuber did, Tommy G. I'm sure a lot of people have heard of him. Big Dogs Gotta Eat. He does like a bunch of like, he did one on the Kia Boys. He does some of them on like street gangs, and he does like, these like guerrilla style like interviews on people who are involved in like certain lifestyles. And he just did one with this guy who is known for says he stole over thousands of cars, and he showed him how he does it. He showed him right in front of him. And I thought it was super, super interesting how, there just is like all these exploits where if somebody just had like a couple $1,000, they could like get all this equipment that's readily sold online and just go out and go on like a car stealing spree.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm looking to make the move to a state where I could shoot somebody in the face that's trying to steal my car. It's very simple. I think you try to steal a car, the owner should be able to shoot you between your eyes, shoot you right in the face, and drag you out of his driveway and just not even call anyone, just leave you there.
Yeah. And then in the morning
I
when
think,
the garbage truck comes around, they're just like, oh, looks like somebody tried to steal a car here last night.
yeah, facts. I saw a great video the other day. It was like they were at a gas station, it looked like, and it was this one guy, and this guy gets all aggressive with him and starts kicking his car and like kicking the shit out of the side of his car and busting up his car. Guy just pulled a piece out, shot him twice in the torso. Guy just dropped to the ground, and everybody in the comments is like, "Oh my God, is a car really worth someone's life?" I'm like, 110%. You kicked the wrong car today, Papa. Kicked the wrong car today, Papi. You put one in your chest and not in your face, so you can have an open casket. You lucky. You're lucky, bro.
The guy died?
You're lucky. Huh?
Did the guy die?
I don't know. There was no, hopefully, but there was no like result of what happened. But it's like, listen, man, if you start kicking somebody's car and busting up their shit, they should be able to shoot you in the face. I really feel that way. Protect your life, protect your family, protect your property. That's a simple thing. You start damaging or abusing somebody's stuff, they should be able to put a hot one right in your face.
Well, listen,
I feel very strongly about that.
well, I'll tell you that normally I might not feel the same way about this. I might lean in the other direction because we oppose so much on the Trump thing. I'm jumping on this one with you. Shoot them motherfuckers right in between the eyes.
Dude, it's crazy. Somebody breaks in your house, you should be able to put one in his face.
Oh, somebody breaking in your house is different than somebody kicking your car.
I mean, somebody busting up your car like that. I mean, listen, bro, wrong car, dude. If that guy lived after that altercation, I guarantee he never kicked another car in his life. On the contrary, he probably wiped every car he's seen after that. Like, whoa, take it easy. Let me just shine this thing real quick. Some people are just a cancer on society, and they need to have a couple hollow points like that they can eat for breakfast. That's, everybody everybody in this world doesn't deserve the benefit of the doubt. Some people are just awful people, and they got to go.
Yeah, if he survived, I think it's fair. If he died, I think it sucks.
I don't know if he did or didn't. If he survived, I mean, good for him, but if he didn't, c'est la vie.
Boy, guy.
Should we cut this out? Are they gonna flag our video and like bury it?
No, I don't think it's a big deal that you. No, I don't think it's a big deal.
I don't condone people doing this if it's not legal where you live, but I think there should be a castle doctrine in every state. I think every person should have the right to protect themselves, their family, and their property. And if you're damaging somebody's stuff and they're like, "Stop damaging my stuff," I'm armed. Stop damaging my stuff. I'm armed. And you keep on damaging their stuff and they put one right in your neck. Sorry. Goddamn, we're past the hour.
Are we?
Bro, it's 8:15.
Wish I could keep talking about killing car thieves with you, but we're over the We're over the hour. We gave too much damn time to my skepticism on the live viewers.
Yeah, anything you got there that's really, really compelling that you really want to talk to that's time sensitive?
Is there anything I have here? No.
Yeah.
No, honestly, we went over everything I wrote down. So I had like the kill Tony, Trump, Elon, Elon. Damn, I wrote Elon before I wrote Trump. How dare me? I am an Elon fan, you see. I might not watch his live content, but I do love him. And Starlink. All right, I'll have you know that I would get Starlink if I lived in the woods. I don't get it because
you're a goddamn liar, man.
I swear to God I would get Starlink. I swear. I love him. I love Elon. I think he's great.
You're a hater, bro. Yo, Elon, come invest in the podcast, man. We support you. We support you. At least 50% of the podcast supports you, and I believe that 1.5 can be real. I believe that.
I'd let him rename me to a letter. He could name me like Jay or he could name me like a character. The artist formerly known as Roberto. And then he could name me Pi. And I'd just be the symbol Pi. Y'all could call me
The artist formerly
3.1.
known as Berto.
Yeah. And my new name will be Pi, the symbol. So no, I love you, Elon. The Olympics, USA, 40 gold medals. China also had 40 gold medals, but theirs didn't weigh as heavy as ours, so we're better than them. USA. 126 medals in total. USA. And then what I wrote here? Oh, the plane that fell out of. Do we talk about the plane that fell out of the sky in Brazil?
No.
Jesus Christ. All right, real quick, before we end the show, you guys got to go look it up after this. There was a video of that's surfacing around the internet of a plane that recently went down over Brazil. And it's just literally falling out of the sky. There were 60 passengers on it. We don't believe that anybody survived it. They're still investigating exactly what happened, but it's all captured on the actual plane. The plane falling is captured on video, and the video is just insane looking. It's just like, it's literally what you would think of. It's like, imagine you took a toy plane and you held it up over your head and just let it go. And that's what it looks like with this thing falling out of the sky. Falling 17,000 feet in under a minute. 17,000 feet in under a minute. That's crazy. Ugh.
First question I had was, did Boeing make this plane? But they actually didn't.
No. The Boeing execs all woke up in the middle of the night, almost lost their minds, and then wiped the sweat off their face when they realized it wasn't one of theirs. No, but yeah, that was the only story that I had that we didn't get to talk about.
Yeah, but yeah, man, rest in peace to all those people. Condolences to the family and to the families of all those people. I mean, it's not more terrifying than being on a plane, bro. There's nothing you could do. What are you gonna do? There's nothing you could do. When you hit that crazy turbulence, what are you gonna do? They tell you, take this oxygen. Put your lap belt on. A lap belt, bro? They don't even do those in cars anymore. What are you going to do with a lap belt, bro?
Dude, I don't...
Buick Regal had lap belts in the back seat. You remember the Regal, baby?
Yeah, dude, I think those
seat
seatbelts are just to keep you from, like, hitting the ceiling. I don't know what those seatbelts are for, dude.
False sense of security so that you could look over with confidence and tell your kids you're not going to die.
Yo, isn't it crazy now that we're talking about airplanes? This is kind of like another thing that they used to smoke inside those things. Isn't it crazy?
Dude.
You should be able to smoke cigarettes.
Bro, they used to smoke in hospitals. They'd be smoking while they're hooking up your oxygen with the eyes shut like this. Well, hooking up your shit, bro.
Can you imagine being on an airplane in like the 60s or the 70s, whatever time you're at, and it's just packed? There's kids in there and everybody's just smoking Camels.
Yeah, and the kids are playing with their little toy cars, getting secondhand smoke, not knowing they're about to die in 30 years.
Yeah, dude. Kids got Agent Orange from being in an airplane with them. Other kids next to him's got fucking mesothelioma. Yeah, I can't mention that kid will never play in the garden again.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
That's funny.
That is crazy. Yeah, but big gulp. Yes, it was very sad that plane crashed.
Super sad.
But with that said, man, prayers to the families, everybody in Brazil. That plane was headed to Sao Paulo. Peace and love to everybody. We have a special affinity for the Brazilian community. We appreciate you guys, man. But
facts, and the Japanese community.
Yes. Not just little tiny islands. You're an archipelago. We appreciate you. We love you. And Bape is fire.
Yep.
And yeah, that's what we got. So Masters of None Podcast, episode 211. Thank you guys so much for tuning in live. Shout out to everybody in the live chat. If you're in here right now, if you were here watching, make sure you hit that thumbs up on the way out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an opportunity to watch this chaos happen and unfold live. I do think that Trump and Elon Musk interview could very well have hit 1.5 million views. Berto disagrees, but that's okay. We'll see what the numbers say down the road. If that's some kind of bot farm, I'm sure it was. Could have been. But what do you got?
It's the concurrent viewers that I'm skeptical of, not of their ability to generate 1.5 million views. I think that they could easily do it. I think it's a difficult number to achieve concurrently.
True. So with that said, thank you guys so much. Again, hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and listen to all the video version of the podcast on YouTube. If you can't, make sure you check out the audio version on all your favorite audio podcast listening platforms. But if you don't find us on your favorite number one audio podcast listening platform that you prefer to use, Berto will let you know what you can do before we bow out.
Join the Discord and harass us until we place the podcast on your obscure podcast listening platform. And then
that's what we got. We love y'all. We'll see you guys next week. Make sure that you pay attention to the clips and the shorts that we're posting every week. The shorts are kind of going crazy, so make sure that you jump in there and you leave some comments on there. You take in some of that content. Give us a little feedback and jump into Discord. Whether you guys find us on your favorite audio podcast listening platform or not, jump on that Discord. Make sure that you guys jump in, give us some topics to talk about. There's a meme, Discord channel. There's, topics like, money where we talk about trading in there. I'll tell you what, man, I got a tip in there on some stocks to buy. I bought them, and I'll tell you what, your boy made some money this week. Absolutely. So shout out to the Discord for giving us some of those tips on some of those investments. Again, this is not financial advice, but it is a place to discuss some pretty cool stuff. So that's what we got. I know he's waiting for me to shut up so he can hit the music. That's what we got, episode 211.
We don't give out financial advice.
We do not.
Oye, te hablo desde la prisión. Wilson Manyoma. Borbona.